Hello students, how are you doing today? Hope all of you are doing well. So I want you please to check your answers. As usual, we need the student book, the activity book, and a highlighter. Today's lesson is One World, Many Cultures. So please open your student book, page 144. So in this video, we will identify traits that define cultures, explain how culture traits spread, analyze examples of different cultures, consider what brings cultures together and what drives them apart. So let's start. What's the meaning of cultural traits? Culture traits are characteristics of a culture. Examples: language, food, customs, literature, art, and beliefs. So now we will see collections of culture traits, but from 3 different cultures. The first country is Italy. As you see, this is the Italian flag. In Italy, soccer is their national sport. And as you see, this mask is a famous carnival mask. In Italy, they have many domes. And of course, pasta. The second country is India. This is the Indian flag. This is henna patterns, which is also famous in India. Some Indian architecture. And this is curry, which is a famous food in India. And of course, all of us know the sari, which is the traditional dress in India. Third country is South Africa. This is the South African flag. This is biltong, which is a traditional food made of dried meat. This is the Zulu clothes. A traditional African masks. In South Africa, they are using the belly, not they painting it as a traditional patterns in their homes. People and culture on the move. Cultures are dynamic. Means they change all the time. When people of different cultures meet, they exchange ideas and pick up culture traits from each other. People of one culture may use culture traits from other cultures. And this is called cultural borrowing. Again, cultural borrowing. Trade. Since ancient times, traders would travel to bring back wares from faraway lands. What's the meaning of wares? Means products. The items they bought and sold help cultural trades to spread. Language. Sometimes words from one language have no equivalent translation in another language. When people of a different language meet, some words from the one language may make their way into the other language, spreading those ideas. Like artichoke, candy, and lemon, they come from the Arabic language. And this picture is for the artichoke vegetable. Colonialism. During the colonial era, the British believed that British culture was the best and highest form of culture, so they tried to force it into their colonies. Colonies means when the British took over countries, we call the countries, they took colonies. Also, the British culture changed because of the cultures of the colonies. War. War changes cultures in many ways. It forces people to move from their homes to other countries. Historic buildings, museums, galleries may be destroyed by war. During and after war, artists may tell stories, write poetry, and make theater and films about the war. The war itself becomes a new theme in the country's culture. What's the meaning of theme? Means key subject or idea in a work of art or literature. Tourism. Tourists choose destinations with interesting cultures. They like to visit cultural places such as museums and galleries. So they also enjoy popular culture, the restaurants and entertainment that the local people enjoy. So they may bring foreign ideas back to their home country. What's the meaning of popular culture? Means culture enjoyed by most of the people that live in a place at the present time. Means the local people. Communication. The inventions of the radio, television, and later the internet allowed people to exchange cultural ideas very quickly all around the world. The healing power of the theater. The theater show, The Monument, lasts for 70 minutes. But after it ends, some spectators are so emotional that they stay after the show to discuss it for up to 3 hours, says Jennifer Cabral. Who's he? The director of a play performed in Rwanda in 2009. What's the meaning of emotional? Means feeling very strong feelings, like very upset and crying. And the meaning of the word play means a story performed by actors and watched by an audience. Okay, let's continue the story. The monument is about a widow who searches for the man who murdered her daughter during the 1994 genocide. Her journey brings her face to face with the ghosts of the past. Over 800,000 people lost their lives during the genocide that took place in April 1994. Genocide means murder of many people at one time. Okay, let's continue. I really think the people of Rwanda need theater, says Cabraro, who first came to Rwanda to make a film about the genocide. She says that the play helps bring about forgiveness. These are the words that we discussed in the story before. Background to the conflict in Rwanda. In Rwanda, which is a small country in Africa, there are two main ethnic groups, the Hutus and the Tutsis. About 600 years ago, the Tutsis migrated south from Ethiopia. When Belgium colonized this region, the two groups were living peacefully, following the same beliefs and speaking the same language. The colonialists treated the Tutsis differently to the Hutus, giving them more power and positions of responsibility. After independence, civil war broke out. So in 1994, more than 800,000 people, mostly Tutsis, were killed by the ruling Hutus. And even after thousands of years, Hutus were also killed. The importance of communication. Speaking and listening, writing and reading are all part of communication. Sometimes differences between cultures can lead to misunderstandings when we communicate. Of course, because I'm using a different language from you. This may have serious consequences. The case of the plane crash in Tenerife. Tenerife is a small island in the Canary Islands. In 1977, two airplanes collided in Tenerife, killing 583 people, the most people killed in a single crash. In the investigation following the crash, researchers listened to the recorded conversation between the pilot, the first officer, and the air traffic controller. They learned that one of the reasons for the crash was that the communications between the three men were unclear, and their different cultures led to misunderstanding about the instructions for take-off. This was a case where better communication could have saved lives. So this is our lesson for today. I want you please to make page 87 in your activity book. Listening and have a nice day.